Good evening, otherworldlies. This is Juliana Angel, your Dark Mass Diva, and this is my first video of the new year, 2023, and I'm so happy to be here with you guys, starting off this new year, 2023, with good vibes, happiness, hope, and I'm just so happy to be here, you guys, and I'm happy to bring you another year of good videos, no bozos, good vibes, and all that good stuff. So, let's get this started, okay? All right, 2023. So, I'm going to first start out, otherworldlies, by telling you guys what happened. Okay, so this is what happened. We had a bunch of flooding here in Sacramento, California. Well, it was all over California. So those of you who do not live in our state, you may not know what's going on here. We had a bunch of flash floods. So we had a power outage for blocks and blocks around, and other places in California also. There was a power outage. So we had... we were in the dark here for hours and hours and hours. So Zen and I rang in the new year, just kind of cuddling with it pitch black in here. Of course, we had our flashlights ready. We had our candles ready. But the point is, Zen and I got to be together. And I had gotten to spend the day with my mother, my sister, and my little niece. And so I got to spend, a fun last day of the year last year at the mall with my sister and my niece and my mom. So I got to have a really good day, and I got to spend that evening with Sensational Delights. Please check out his channel. That's Astral, my twin flame. So I got to spend the day with him, the night with him, ringing in the new year. We got to be together. So we were together. That's what the point was. We didn't need to go out. We were going to go out. We were going to go dancing and do all that stuff like we like to do, but we got to be together, which was the point, and ring in the new year together. So here's a whole new year of me telling you how to stay away from those toxic bozos. All right, so here's a whole new year of hope and health and happiness, and let's get to it. All right, okay, so I'm going to talk about the bozos. The only thing they really understand, you guys, is absence and silence. I'm going to tell you why. Okay, the thing that's the underlying thing about all the bozos and bozettes, this is what they really have in common, you guys. They don't want to listen, and they don't want to cooperate. No matter what you say to them, their whole problem is they have an agenda, and they're trying to push their agenda. Okay, so what they want to do basically is whatever you tell them to do, they want to do the opposite. They want to have their way. It doesn't matter how you feel or what you're doing or what you have going. They want to push their way. I mean, they're pretending, that they care about your feelings. But the thing about bozos, you guys, is they basically lack empathy. So if they're pretending to have feelings, it's pretend. Okay, on some level they have feelings. I mean, they feel sorry for themselves, right? They're victims, right, you guys? So bozos are always feeling sorry for themselves, okay? They always feel like everybody owes them something, and you're in their lives to make their lives better, and they're trying to latch onto you, right? So they're trying to hang on to you and latch onto you and leech onto you and everything like that, okay? I'm here to tell you, dear viewer, dear otherworldly, you are the winner, okay? That's why the bozo is latching onto you. You have something to offer. That's why they're grabbing onto you, okay? That's why the bozo won't leave you alone, because you have something going for you and the bozo doesn't. And so the bozo is your stalker. The bozo is someone who doesn't want you out of their lives. The bozo is someone who's always going to bug you. And the thing is, when you try to put that boundary up with that bozo, they're not going to want to listen to you. Okay, they're not going to respect the boundary. They are not going to take the social cue. When you don't like something, they're not going to pick up on it. And you know why? I mean, they are, a normal person would pick up on it and respect, when you don't like something. Okay, but they're going to keep trying to push the situation. A normal person, would have empathy and respect when you don't like something. But the more you tell the bozo no, the more they're going to try to push, right? So no matter Now, when you tell someone about a problem, another person's advice would be, well, have you tried talking to them about it? Well, that would be okay if we're talking about a reasonable person, right? So that advice would work if we were talking about normal people. If we're talking about reasonable people, if we were talking about people who were functioning normal up here, okay? If we're talking about people who were able to feel empathy for other people, we're talking about bozos here, you guys. We're talking about people who came to seek, annoy, and destroy you, okay? People who came to take from you. So we're not talking about normal people. We're talking about people who just came to violate your boundaries and basically just get in your way. Okay, so the thing is about bozos is you can't tell them things and have them listen. If they listen, it's only temporarily because they know they have to manipulate you. They have to pretend to sort of respect what you're saying because they know if they don't sort of give you your way a little bit at this point that they're going to completely lose you. So they're like, I better sort of, after 5 years, better listen to this one little thing they say or else. Okay, so they better sort of give you your way and, with this one little thing or else. You know what I mean? And you may have been trying to, get at them for, 5 years over this one little thing. And they're finally, relenting a little bit of this one little thing. So, they're capable of learning. I mean, they're capable of listening. They're choosing not to, okay? So the thing about the bozo is they really just do not want to cooperate. They really just came to be selfish and be a victim and just to kind of take from you and just to kind of latch onto you, okay? They're losers, you're the winner, okay? That's they're a bozo, they're a bozette, okay? They're just, they're stupid. Okay, so the bozo, the only thing, because the bozo is not going to cooperate, the only thing bozos are going to respond to, okay, is your absence and your silence. Okay, because you're not going to get them to cooperate with you. These are not normal people we're talking about, you guys. You can't talk to them about it. You can't reason with them. Okay, so what you're going to have to do is just get away from them. The only way you can teach them, the only way that you're going to get ahead with these bozos is just stay away from them. Is just ignore them. When they disrespect you, just get away from them. Just stop talking to them about it. Just walk away from them. Okay. Sometimes these bozos won't leave you alone. Sometimes you need a restraining order on these bozos. Yeah, I know we don't want to have to do stuff like that. Because we might consider them friends in some kind of way. We might consider them, someone who used to be cool to hang around with. I mean, they might have been cool at one point. I mean, and then all of a sudden, their bozoness comes out and we're like, whoa, we didn't even notice how bad they really were because it was just this subtle thing. And all of a sudden, bam, they just, all of a sudden we just noticed what a bozo they were. Because the stuff they do is subtle. And the stuff they do, we just kind of take it's their quirkiness. Okay? And they're good at making you feel sorry for them. They're good at making everybody feel sorry for them. And they're good at making what they do look like quirks. Okay? And that's what people with personality disorders do. They make their bozo behaviors look like quirks. Okay? And I'm not saying that everybody with a personality disorder is a bozo. And we're not, diagnosing people here. But this is generally what the situation tends to be, okay? These people are master manipulators, all right? So let's just say, this person, they have a problem with boundaries. That's what kind of bozo they are, okay? So they don't want to listen to what you're telling them. And the more you tell them no, the more they're going to try to fight it. You tell them, no, I don't want you to come over. No, I don't want you to call past 9 p.m. No, I'm trying to be alone with my partner right now. No, I don't want to do this. No, don't give me that kind of food. I'm on a diet. I just found out I'm diabetic. So they bring you a bunch of fudge. That kind of thing. You know what I mean? So they really, they're really just trying to push the envelope with you all the time. And you don't really think about what they're doing, but they're always trying to sabotage you. Like whatever you try to do to tell them no, they're always trying to just push it one step further. Like everything. And remember that hangman thing that I showed you guys? Write their name down, cross a letter of their name out every time they do something. You will notice they keep doing things. Start writing it down. You don't notice until you write it down, because it's so easy to dismiss it. You don't notice what they're doing until you start writing it down. And I mean, I know that was a funny little game, and I was being kind of silly and stuff like that, but I am dead ass serious. Cross the letters of their name out. Draw the little stick figure. You'll notice what they're doing. And I know it's funny and stuff like that, but you'll notice it once you start tallying it up that they're doing stuff. You're going to be like, I mean, you know, because they'll do one thing after another. Once you start telling them no, they're going to keep at you. Because they're used to getting away with things with you. They're used to getting away with things with everybody. And once the person that they're used to getting away with things with starts telling them no, they're going to try harder and harder and harder and get more and more obnoxious. You're going to start crossing out more letters of their name. Maybe you want to put their first name and their last name, or even their middle name if you know it. I mean, they're going to keep going and going and going and going. And they're just going to be relentless. And the only thing they are going to understand is your silence and your absence. You know, and maybe the policeman putting handcuffs on them. I mean, they really just do not have respect for other people. Some of them don't have respect for the law. Some of them, they really, they are broken inside. They really don't have respect for other people. They really just, they're latching onto you. They are known as emotional vampires. And if you think what they have for you is love, it's not. It's obsession. There's a difference between obsession and love. They're obsessed with you. Okay, it's like, I don't even want to call it infatuation. They're trying to, they think you're an easy mark. Okay, and, well, I mean, the chances are you are considerably more physically attractive than they are. That is one reason they're bothering you, okay? You are considerably more talented, more physically attractive than they are. There's probably some kind of lust on their part towards you, okay, or some envy on their part. So there's either lust or envy on their part towards you, okay? That's one of their motivations. All right, so there's lust or envy. So there's a part of it where you feel flattered by their attention. Remove that part of yourself that feels flattered by their attention. Okay, you need to take that part of yourself, that's your ego, out of the situation. Okay, because your ego can be flattered by so many other people, and you know it. Okay, you're amazing, you're talented, you're wonderful, people see your talents, everybody knows you're awesome at work, everybody knows you're attractive. You don't need these bozos flattering you by their obsessive attention. Take that part of your ego out that likes attention from these bozos, okay, because you're attracting them. So if there's a part of you that is getting your ego stroked by these bozos, you need to kill that part of your ego that's allowing these bozos to bother you. Okay, because there might be a part of you that, there might be a part of your ego that's allowing them to stay in your life. That you think it's okay to have them around. Okay, you need to kill that part of you that thinks it's okay to have bozos around. That likes the attention. Okay, we all have flaws within us that, I mean, is your ego that hungry that you need attention from bozos? Get rid of them. Seriously. Seriously. Did somebody hurt your feelings where you just feel like you need attention from bozos? Because you don't. You need to validate yourself. And trust me, everyone else is trying to validate you. Why do you need attention from bozos? Everybody else is trying to validate you. People who are worthy of your attention are trying to validate you. You don't need validation from bozos. I'll validate you. I think you're awesome. Thank you for watching me. Seriously. And you are awesome. If you weren't awesome, they wouldn't be bothering you. I mean, people who are worthy of you are trying to pay you attention, and they are just like in the way. They are trying to block out the attention from people who should be paying you attention. They're trying to ruin it for you. Get rid of them. You have to kill that part of your ego that needs attention, though. Seriously, you have to validate yourself. Stop worrying about attention, because you are going to get it once you get rid of them. Once you get rid of them, you just validate yourself. You're going to get attention from everybody else once you get rid of them, because people are trying to pay you attention. It's just the bozos are in the way. The bozos are actually scaring people off. Did you know that? People want to do nice things for you. People want to come up and talk to you, but they won't because that bozo's hanging around you. That's happened to me before. I've had people who wanted to come up and talk to me and say, Juliana, you're really cool, and I like what you're doing with this and that, and you're creative, and I like, I think you're talented and all this stuff. And they'll walk up and they'll see a bozo and they'll be like, and they've come up to me later and said, hey, I always wanted to tell you how cool I thought you were, and this and that and the other, but so-and-so was always hanging around, and he was always giving me the creeps and always like looking at me funny, and I'm like, well, don't worry about him. I don't hang out with him anymore. They're like, oh, good, because I always was afraid he was your boyfriend. I'm like, no, he's just some bozo. They're like, oh, cool, because I just always wanted to hang out with you, and I was always scared of him. And I'm like, don't be. I don't even hang out with him anymore. Like, we can hang out. And I've had people just come up to me and said, I was always afraid of so-and-so that you hung out with, and so-and-so. And I'm like, yeah, because I always had these bozos trying to hang out with me, scaring nice people away. And they will. That's what bozos do. They scare nice people away from you, like cool people who will come out and tell you they think you're cool. Because nice people will come out and tell you they think you're cool. And come out and say, I think you're talented, I think you're nice, I think you're smart. And bozos won't come out and tell you that. They'll just hang around and try to hurt your feelings and try to take from you. And they will try to scare everybody else away. Real talk. So kill that part of your ego that's feeling flattered that the bozo is obsessed with you. If you have any part of your ego that that's attracting that, because we all have a shadow side. So if you have a shadow side that you think is attracting bozos, look into it. Okay, because we're in a new year, and you want to get rid of all those things that you think might be attracting negative energy. Negative energy, negative influences. And part of that negative influences is you may be attracting bozos. There may be something about you where you may be attracting these bozos. You may think it's okay to attract creepy people. You may not know the difference between good attention and bad attention. But there's a difference. Know the difference. You may not know who's a good person and a bad person. Because maybe you didn't have anyone to tell you who's a good person and a bad person. You know what I mean? And not all of us did. Not all of us had an older person to say, hey, who's a good person and a bad person? Or, some of us aren't, that streetwise. We can't really figure out who's good or bad. And it takes us a while to figure out who's good or bad, because we just we're nice people inside, and we just see the good in everybody. Okay, bozos aren't good. So don't even try to see the good in them, because they're not. Just only see the bad in them, and you need to just get rid of them, like completely cut them off, like completely cut them out of your life. You can't have them in your life even a little bit. You need to just completely ignore them, completely cut them out of your life. I mean, we're talking like no contact. Okay, they can't know where you are. And if they do, they need to know they're not supposed to talk to you. You just ignore them. Okay? And decide you don't want their attention. Decide right now you don't want to have anything to do with them. Okay? And if they look you up later, don't talk to them. Because they're going to try to look you up on social media in 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, because trust me, it's happening. I'm having people look me up who haven't talked to me in like 20 years. I'm so serious. And they're like, you know, I took you out like 20 years ago and I'm still thinking about you and all this stuff. I'm like, are you serious? I'm like, you are such a bozo and I can tell that you're still a bozo. Like, no way. And I could still tell this person's a loser because some bozos will always be bozos. So, trust me, they don't grow out of it, you guys. Bozos will always be bozos. So I'm just letting you know, they're not going to change. They're always going to be losers. So you can't ever give bozos a second chance and be their friend again. And I'm letting you guys know that right now, okay? So this has been Juliana Angel, your Dark Mask Diva. Look inside yourself. Be ready to cut those bozos off. All right? Okay, otherworldlies, I love you all. I will see you in the next content. Happy 2023. Bye-bye.